Hi, everybody. This is Getrude Matshe again here in Wellington, New Zealand. And I am here with another amazing guest all the way from Florida. Thank you for coming on, Patricia. Please
Thank you
introduce
so
yourself.
much.
Tell us where you are.
Hello, my name is Patricia Vosburgh, and I live in St. Petersburg, Florida. And I've lived here since 1992. I used to live in New York. I was actually born in New York, in Brooklyn, and lived there for most of my life, except when I moved here 26 years ago. And so my life is a little interesting, as every woman's life is, of course. And we make decisions and things that we look back upon and we say to ourselves, why did I do that? What decision did I make? So as I wrote to you, I met my first husband. I did not get married, of course, at this age, but I met my first husband when I was 16.
Okay.
And I never really had a boyfriend before that. And so it's way too young, in my opinion, to get into a serious relationship. And looking back on it now, things that occurred then should have given me signals about not to go forward. Like making me get rid of my girlfriends, who I had two friends that I was really close with. And he said things about them that made me question my friendship with them. And of course, this is like so long ago because I'm 60 years old now.
Yes.
And so this is a long time ago now, but looking back, it was, and he was only 17, so it's not like he even had like this plan in mind for his life either, I'm sure. And so looking back on that, there were all these signs that I should have realized, such as, how he treated me and spoke with me and how demeaning he was, and little things like that when you're really a child, in essence, looking back on it, 16 is really young and 17. And you don't really understand the implications of that when you're older. So going on in life, I got married with him, and I chose not to have children with him, which was for various reasons, but he has schizophrenia in his family, and I did not want to have a child with schizophrenia. His brother's schizophrenic. And I'm really thankful that I made that really good decision not to have children with him, because then you are always attached to someone like that. So looking back, like I said, emotional abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse at the end of our relationship, which we are divorced since 2008.
Mm-hmm.
So I was with him a very, very long time. And then financial abuse, absolutely, because he's worth quite a bit of money. And I did not have an attorney in the divorce. I was told I didn't need one. And you're not talking that long ago, like 10 years ago, you're like, wow, you didn't have an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not the same person I was then, 10 years ago. Maybe even before that. I was with him married almost 25 years, and with him 33 years.
Oh, wow.
Which sounds amazing. Like, oh my gosh, how could you stay with someone that long? But all of it wasn't bad, as you know, in relationships. But you have to really look deeper at your relationships and try to figure out what you want in your life. And that's kind of like what I was saying about being so young. You don't really know what you want at such a young age. You have to find out about yourself even at such a young age. You don't know what you likes, your dislikes, where you're going in your life. And so I feel that being such a young person, I made mistakes with that. And if I would love to go and speak with high school students about relationships, because everyone gets involved in all these boyfriend-girlfriend relationships, and they're so strong and they're so intense, intense even sexually at such a young age now.
Yes.
And yes, and so to speak with them and kind of tell them the story of my life, that I don't want to say don't do it, but if you can avoid doing that, that is something that should absolutely be done, in my opinion, is to know yourself first.
Yes.
And yeah, so that's really one of my big things is that know yourself first.
You were lucky though, because you managed to get out of that relationship and into another one and remarry. And
Yes.
some other stuff came up in that relationship. So tell us a little bit about what happened going forward.
So I hadn't dated anyone, of course. I never cheated on my former husband, although he did on me. And so life went on, and I got divorced in '08. I was separated since '06, though. So I didn't date anyone. And so I took some photography classes at the local art center here.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually met my teacher, who was a photographer, who's
Okay.
now my husband. So yeah, it just kind of worked out. So he's actually my second boyfriend, which sounds absolutely ridiculous, but he truly is only my second boyfriend, because I remember calling my sister up. She's actually 13 years older than me. She's 73. And I called her up and I said, I met this guy I really like. And I said, but I hadn't dated anyone else. And, you know, the words of wisdom from someone older, because she's married, I think, 54 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's married, I think, 54 or 53 years. So the words of wisdom were just go with the flow. See how things go with him, since you seem to get along so well.
Yes.
And you really are like clicking, and just see how it goes. Don't think too much about it.
Overthink it, yes.
I was totally overthinking it, and I didn't need to overthink it at all, because the answer was right in front of me, truly. And I'm very blessed. He is a godly man, and that was something that I was looking for. And that's another thing, too, about relationships. I really think you have to go in knowing what you want,
Yes.
not what the other person wants, but what you want yourself. And so I did know what I wanted, and he met the criteria for what I wanted. So we got married. We met each other actually in 2009, but we didn't start dating until 2010.
Okay.
We got married in 2013, and in 2014, we both were struck with Lyme disease. And a lot of people don't
A bit
even
about
know.
Lyme disease. What is that?
Lyme disease is when you get bit by a tick,
Oh,
and the tick infects you with, it's called spirochetes. And they attack your brain first, and then your other large organs. And it's a very debilitating disease. It can kill you. It has killed many people in the United States.
You are both bitten.
Yes. Now, there's a trick with getting bit. Only 30% of adults get what's called a bullseye rash, meaning that you'll get like a little circle somewhere on your skin, and it looks like a little bullseye. It could be any side. And we neither of us got that. Only 10% of children get the bullseye rash. So you're talking about a very large population of people who don't know they got bit. All of a sudden, well, not all of a sudden, but shortly after getting bit, have symptoms. And the symptoms range from extreme brain fog, extreme joint pain. You can't remember anything at all. Anyway, so it was an amazing journey for us. We were out of work a year. We have very good health insurance that we pay, but health insurance does not cover treatment.
Oh, wow.
It's not recognized by the, I guess, the CDC here in the United States. And anyway, we a lot of money later we went through our savings and just to be well and not die and take care of ourselves. So that was really an amazing journey for us. And now the journey's come back again, because just 2 weeks ago I was re-diagnosed with Lyme. And so now I'm going through some treatment again.
Oh, wow. And it doesn't go away after you've had the treatment.
No, you're just in remission. They actually call it Lyme AIDS, which is interesting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because it's like an acquired immune deficiency syndrome, but it's called Lyme AIDS, and I actually read that recently. Yeah, so Lyme disease is really taken a toll on us
Mm.
financially, but we're very lucky that we actually both got it. And the reason I'm saying that is because I'm in a lot of Lyme groups on like Facebook and places like that.
Yes.
And women and men, and I'm not going to say it's just women, but their spouses leave because it's like an invisible illness. You don't see anything really on the outside. You can't
Yes.
see joint pain. You can't see brain fog. You can't see all these symptoms that you can't even have a conversation sometimes with someone with Lyme disease. And
Oh,
there's, a,
wow.
there's a really good movie out called Under Our Skin. It's on Netflix, I believe, but you can probably YouTube it. And those people in that movie really are so sick from Lyme. So just from an emotional standpoint, a financial standpoint, it's really taken a toll on both of us. 4 years ago, I actually had to stop driving because I could not drive anymore. I had episodes of like being in one place and then being at another light and not knowing how I got there.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's like you have a blackout, but not really. And my husband didn't understand that, you know, what I was saying about that,
Yeah.
until he went through a red light. so,
Oh my gosh.
so he went through the red light, and I said, "Hon, you just went through that light." And he was like, "What light?" I was like, "Yeah."
Oh,
So it's pretty amazing to know that you'll never get rid of something. Uh,
yes.
it just being remission, and it can like pop up anytime for any reason.
Whatever reason.
Yeah, I feel great, which is wonderful because the first time around we were sleeping like 18 hours a day, both of us.
So you get like chronic fatigue.
Oh my God, it was awful. The thing with Lyme disease too is that people who have like chronic fatigue or MS or lupus or oh my goodness, uh, fibromyalgia, they actually should be tested for Lyme because a lot of them actually do have Lyme disease. And
Okay.
therefore, they're not getting treated for Lyme, but they're just being treated for those other illnesses and actually will never get well.
Oh,
There's
wow.
like there's like 10 to 12 different illnesses that mimic Lyme. Uh,
Yes.
and so even though you may have MS and per your MRIs and all that, you also may have Lyme disease and you're not being treated for it. So all these other illnesses that people do have, they're not being treated for it. So
Oh,
for Chuck and
man.
myself, it's the go round too. Here we go again. And we're both self-employed.
Okay.
So
So that helps.
it does because, we can kind of have our own schedule then. Because if we were working, a friend of mine has Lyme disease and she was let go from her job.
Okay.
She was fired. And that's that. So no health insurance. She had to do a GoFundMe to get treatment because treatment is not cheap.
Yes.
Matter how much money you have. Well, we never did a GoFundMe because we just keep using any money that we have that we saved. So,
Yeah.
so hundreds of thousands of dollars you can go through in a very short amount of time to be
Wow.
well. Yeah, yeah. So, um, getting back to my previous relationship, it really made me think about when I was prior to meeting him, what I was like as a person, and
Mhm.
then coming back to my family because I was basically like estranged from my family for a lot of that time because he did not like my family at all and they didn't like him, and it was very stressful for me to do anything with my family. So when I got divorced, and even when I got separated, um, my family said to me, "It's good to have you back as a
Oh,
person."
wow.
Because I wasn't me for all those years. I
Mhm.
felt very constrained and I couldn't really say what I thought. And I was really held back in my life by him. And
Mhm.
he's a narcissist and just very controlling. And
Yeah.
when you have someone like that, you try to kind of make everything okay. Like you can fix someone.
Yeah.
And
Can't do that.
yeah, you can't fix anyone like that.
Mm.
They have to get help themselves. And women who are in that relationship, I was a social worker for 25 years.
Wow.
So just imagine being a social worker and knowing, during that time, knowing really right from wrong, but you're so engrossed in it that you just feel like there's no way out.
Yeah, that feeling of helplessness overcomes you.
Yes. And so even if it's 25 months or 25 years or however long it is that a woman stays with a man, there
Yeah.
has to be, all the time, there has to be total respect, um, total love, unconditional love, and there has to be something looking towards the future for
Yeah.
both of you. And I didn't feel that at all.
So
And
three things. What three things would you tell another woman who's in a similar position with a partner or a husband who's a narcissist? Three things. What advice would you give them?
I don't know if they'll
Sometimes
listen.
people don't even realize that that's where they are until they're out.
Yes, right.
How do you find out where you are? That's number one.
Um, I'm going to say read a lot. And I know that sounds kind of silly, but reading will help you understand where you are. Like read self-help and self-development books.
Mm-hmm.
Reading is extremely helpful in understanding. Like you would read something like an article and you would say, oh my God, that's me. There's tons of articles about narcissists. And if you read them, I sit there and I go, that was my life. But I didn't know it.
Yeah, yeah. So
So
you
I
don't
think
know what you don't know.
right, exactly. So I
What's
think
the second thing?
the second thing would be to make sure that you're financially stable.
Okay.
When you're in a relationship like that, not that he was very controlling with money, but some of them are. Some
Yeah,
men are, and they are controlling, and you really have to kind of make your own way with having money.
yeah.
Because money's going to be giving you the freedom to make choices that
Okay.
a lot of women don't have. You
Yeah,
know, they have men who give them money and just buy groceries for the week or something.
yeah,
I
yeah.
wasn't in that situation, but I've seen it where women have been in that situation. So I would say be educated, and I don't mean like school, but be educated and improve yourself by doing reading and understanding like your relationship.
Hmm.
The second thing would be financially make sure that you're in a place where if you have to go to a shelter, you do that, especially if you have children, you want to be safe around your children. Um,
And the third thing?
the third thing, be adventurous and bold with yourself. And don't let someone else drag you down with that. I
Mm.
was always very outgoing and very bold. And I think I wrote in my thing about getting my New York attitude back because I'm
Yes.
from New York. Well, that left me for a while,
Yeah.
left me for a long time. And I think having what I'm going to call my New York attitude is something that's very vital. And knowing um, who you are, knowing who you are and having that boldness inside you and
Mm.
that adventurous spirit to be able to say, I'm done. We're done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when I was divorced from my husband, he still wanted to see me every day. It was a nutty, crazy relationship. He did not want me doing anything. And so I finally reached a point where I said to him, we're done. I don't want to revisit this. We're done. And it took a lot for me to do that because he lives in the town here and I wasn't sure how that was going to go. I lived in a guarded, gated community, which
Mm-hmm.
was very smart of me to do that because I had no idea what he would do.
Yeah.
So he broke down hysterical crying and was upset. And I didn't shed one tear because I was done. I had that freedom in my head and that peace in my head that I knew there's no going back
Mm.
and looking at anything.
Yeah.
So if a woman who's in a situation like that can reach that point in her life where she says, oh my God, I'm totally done and I have like no feelings for this at all, that to me is amazing and wonderful.
It must be very empowering.
It is. It
Oh,
totally is. Yep.
thank you so much for this interview. I'm hoping that there is a woman out there who is experiencing what you've experienced,
Yes.
and will find a way to navigate out of that space by
Yeah.
listening to the podcast. So thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you so much, Gertrude. It's so nice seeing you. You have such a beautiful smile.
Such a pleasure having met you, Patricia. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for your time.
Thank you so much. Enjoy your night, okay?